We are on the verge of tying history, but with a twist. Last week, Magnus Okenhaug took his third career victory in the NASA Rallycross Challenge, and for the first time in 60 races, he became the sixth different winner in a single season. This by itself is not history. It's happened before. We've had 7 different winners in a season, but as that 2021B season is that record of 7, what makes 2022B different is we have the potential for 7 different winners, but it would be 7 different winners in a row from the beginning of the championship. The level of parity in the competition has resulted in a tie in the points between Alex Abetty and defending champion Josh Klog. Josh Klog started a little bit slower, but a consistent surge to the front has resulted in the Maryland driver tying the German at the top of the points table, as Alex Abetty won for the first time in his NASA career in Knock Hill. With Philip Kraus alongside me in the commentary box for the Automotive Sports Network, I am Josh Mertz. We are proud to welcome you to Round 7 of the 2022B Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, live from Iowa, the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. Our broadcast and series brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, check out osscenter.com. We thank Rob Hartland for all of his support. As Phil, I'd say this track uses most of the oval to create 2 distinct tracks. We were both on track. I want to hear your thoughts as we get rolling here.
Yeah, Josh, I'd say it's a pretty different track in both halves of it, because obviously you have that oval section where you merge on. You have a pretty long, well, for this track you have a pretty long straight. You get up to about 110 mile an hour, and then it's a hard braking zone off the banking back into the infield road course at Iowa. And but in general, the track's just a bit of a bull ring, to be honest. There's not a lot of room. It's really tight. You're gonna have to fight really hard to get your passes done here. There's only really, for me, like 1.5 passing zones. You can kind of send it when you're coming off the oval, and I think you can maybe get a move done in turn 1. It's really dependent on the jump, though. What did you think of it, though, Josh?
I discovered that I am washed, and even though I'm running next week in Wild Horse, and I think you are too, or maybe we were joking there.
I've got some logos getting put on my fire suit. I don't know about yours.
I'm dusting it off and putting the new champion patch on there. I'll have to forward you your logo. So, very tricky. Granted, I didn't mess with the setup. I kind of ran the default iRacing setup, and it once again proves to me that you can't just show up and race these cars. These guys, super fast, super talented, and a lot of practice is put in to being quick.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Josh. Obviously, Rallycross is a very unique discipline on the spectrum of racing, I'd say, because there's no real other like type of racing outside of rally itself where you mix all these different surface types and all these different circuits together and make a really exciting product on the track.
So we take a look at our format. 4 heat races. 6 cars is the maximum in each. We should probably have, I think, 4, as I do think we have 15 cars here this evening. 6 laps Joker once, top 2 advance. There will be 2 semifinals, maximum of 8 cars, but we won't have 8 cars in those. 5 laps Joker once, top 2 advance. The feature is 10 cars, 10 laps, Joker twice, and this Joker, as we look at Chris Wetz here, it shoots off to the right side from that camera shot, but you cut off all this section of track, and the speed differential, Phil, coming out of the Joker versus the regular course like we see here, astronomical.
Yeah, timing your Joker here is it's going to be vital to your race, as we're looking at Chris Wetz, who notoriously likes to take his Joker on the last lap. But yeah, you cut off so much of the track. I want to say, like, in the races, you're going to have 2 Jokers. You're going to be half a lap ahead of people who haven't Jokered when you take both of yours. And yeah, honestly, it's going to be super important for traffic management, and the merge is going to be quite difficult at times potentially, because those cars that aren't taking the Joker, they're coming through a hairpin and they have a chance to run wide, and you got to be really cautious of that, because there's a potential for a bit of disaster on the merge as we look at Alex Abetty go pole position by half a second, Josh.
Carson McKenna was also quick in practice as well, but he's half a second down on his German teammate Ben Forster in the 23, Jamison Huffman in the 89, and a couple different storylines that we had coming into today's race. Magnus won his 3rd race in the championship. He's 3rd in points behind Klog and Abetty by 9 points. He has snuck his way into this championship battle. I stand corrected. He is 4th. Josh. It's Francois, so I had that switched. Words are hard. Welcome to NASA. He is 14 back. I think Francois is 9, so I have that wrong.
Yes.
Abedi and Clog are tied. We will have the 2 red plates, and it's a tale of 2 seasons, as Abedi's had horrible luck the last couple weeks, but started out well, and it was the other way around for Clog.
Yeah, Abedi, I think Bark River really wasn't his strong suit. I was mentioning it throughout that race, but I'm expecting him to bounce back here, and currently he's on track to do that, sitting the 99 car on pole position for the moment. We'll have to see if Josh Clog can produce an answer.
So Martel's on his second lap. We'll take a look and ride on board the French-Canadian here. As we go through, real quick, Abedi leads the points along with Clog. They're on 109. Third is Martel with 100. Fourth is Oakenhaug with 95. And it's Justin Robichaux in fifth with 73. So it's a decent gap down in the points. The Sportsman Cup, Cody Crosgrove is up by 4 points on Jamison Huffman. We'll get to that in just a minute. TWR Subi squad leads their sister Fiesta Siesta Ford squad. Martel crosses the line, but maybe he got hit with a 1X there as he crossed and hit the gantry. Fiesta Siesta 33 points down on Subi squad, and Subaru 19 ahead of Ford. This is crucial because look at the standings. Jamison Huffman, P5, Crosgrove, P13 for the Sportsman Points leader.
Yeah, Huffman, I mentioned it when I joined the practice session and did some laps with you, Josh. He was top of that practice session, so he's been showing a lot of pace these last few races. His confidence has to be through the roof after his first podium in NASA competition at Bark River last week, and I'm excited to see if he can repeat that form today, to be honest with you, Josh, because he's looking on to do it. He's kind of reminded me of how Justin Robichaux last season just continued to improve and improve as the season went on.
As speaking of Robichaux, we're looking at Jake Robichaux in car 69, currently 16th and last. We must have had a car not confirm on the Discord, which is okay because it doesn't affect the format. But 16 cars, 4 heats, 10-car feature, and despite the turmoil of the last couple of seasons, it's great to see that we do have 16 cars. This used to be a full field several years ago.
Yeah, definitely. We've had the same, I want to say we've had pretty much the same 16-car grid for the last 3 races. They're all really dedicated running in NASA, but yeah, Josh, Alex Abedi looking to rebound, taking pole position for this first heat here. What are you expecting from this?
I'm expecting a sportsman brawl. We look at Jamison Huffman and Cody Crosgrove also. I don't know if anybody's gridded. I'm trying to see, but it doesn't look like it's letting me see Cody Crosgrove on grid. Let me try and get this. There we go. And we have not the greatest cameras because of the start location, so we might have to do one of these guys. But Abedi and Oakenhaug basically battling for, you know, the points lead. And then the Sportsman points lead. And this is only heat number 1. Getting ready to go. 6 laps. Joker once in Iowa as we are green. Down the front, or down the pit straightaway into turn 1. Abedi leads us. Huffman in second. Crosgrove on the outside of Oakenhaug. Oakenhaug blinks for a minute. Contact over the jump. Crosgrove gets sent to 4th into turn 1. Oakenhaug deep on the brakes. Nearly nudging. I think he did hit Huffman there in the 89. And now Huffman out wide. And he's back to 3rd. And we have a sportsman battle as Oakenhaug now hounding, or trying to. It's a second difference here, Phil, between Abedi and Oakenhaug.
Yeah, definitely, Josh. I don't know if Oakenhaug actually made that much contact with Huffman. It looked like Huffman just couldn't get the car rotated into turn 1 on the dirt, and that's paramount here. From the few laps I did, that's one of the most important things you need to be able to do to create lap time here, because if you don't do that, you're just going to shoot straight off to the right, kind of like Huffman did there. But yeah, it's interesting to see how these two separate races in this heat are going to play out between the two championship hopefuls who are both taking to the Joker right now, and the 2 sportsman hopefuls currently who are both running the regular layout. So it looks like they both of these groups want to stay close to one another for sure. As
Huffman, as we talk about always with the bonus points in the NASA Rallycross Challenge, you do get 2 for winning a heat race, 3 for winning a heat race, 2 for transferring, and 1 if you get through the semifinal. This is crucial for Huffman because we'll have to see how it rotates, but say he finishes 2nd or even wins, he gets bonus points, and that tallies in the Sportsman Cup. It's not just an overall points bonus.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen. It depends on how the Joker rotation plays out.
Way behind Magnus here.
Yeah, just that rotation alone suggests that Huffman probably won't be.
Magnus!
Never mind, Magnus is
Trying
spun
to
it, and he's
Scandi
collected
flick!
Crossgrove.
Come on, Magnus.
You get a little bit of radio transfer there from Crossgrove. Not happy at Magnus. This is going to give it... This gives...
Twice.
Damage, it comes across!
Crashing over the jump!
Into Huffman! Huffman saves it!
It's going to be interesting to see if there's any damage on that number 89 car, because that was a pretty hefty hit
Ooh,
between
and they're
those
still
two,
hitting each other. Huffman, sorry, he's going to say, well, goodbye. I'm going to try and get away from you while I can. He has pipped Magnus. So exactly what I said. Commentator's curse, whatever you might say. I didn't plan for that. But Huffman in a transfer spot. Crossgrove is not. Crossgrove's struggling.
Definitely a bit of a commentator's curse, because I was just about to say before Magnus spun in the... and that, I don't know if you call it a hairpin, but that corner off the banking. I was about to say, Huffman looks like he's too far back to realistically challenge for those bonus points, but then Magnus was caught pointing the wrong way, and that's really opened the door for him. But yeah, Magnus is going to have to close 3 seconds in 2 laps here, and I don't think that's feasible, Josh. It's a 37-second lap time.
It's
surely you can't find that.
So hard for this at this track as well. And I'm just interested as to why Magnus ripped the handbrake there, because he hadn't ripped the handbrake at all. If you rip the handbrake there, you're so much slower as Abedi takes the white flag here in Heat 1. So much slower if you rip the handbrake, and Magnus should know this. So maybe he was...
You know Magnus, Josh. He loves to rip his e-brake.
I guess that's...
Have you ever seen him drive in Norway?
I have. I mean, he's won there, so clearly he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's how he won there.
As final couple of corners for Alex Abedi, the co-points leader, trying to start this evening in the best possible fashion. He was about half a second up on Josh Klog. That's where he needs to be, and he's pole position in Iowa this evening. And the German, 3 bonus points, and Jamison Huffman, 2 bonus points. That effectively cuts the gap to 2 in the Sportsman Championship. And that's crucial because he will grid in 5th, and Crossgrove still has an LCQ, or sorry, a semifinal to go through. As, not really sure what happened there. Just looked like, well, Crossgrove ran into Magnus, and then I'm more concerned over what happened in the jump there.
Yeah, I think Cody didn't really have anywhere to go, because Magnus was already in reverse trying to back up off the apex where he crashed, but I got away, Josh, because we're about to start Heat 2.
As we get ready for Heat number 2, Martel, Klog, Hartley, and Justin Robichaux. Green flag. Hartley doesn't get a great jump. Klog does over Martel into turn 1. Martel tried to stick the nose and try and maintain that gap. Klog will lead us over the jump for the first time, ahead of Martel, who sits 3rd in points. Really hooked up in the Volkswagen. I noticed that if you hook the right rear, you get a really good shot of momentum. You have to control it well. Martel, and it looks like Robichaux, no, it's Hartley, excuse me, there. Jokers in car number 50, the 2020A champion. We have 2 champions in this race. Josh Klog last season, Hartley in 2020A. Francois Martel trying to add his name to that list, but there's a long way to go as he leads at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, a long way to go, Josh. Still 4 races left in this 2022A season. Sorry, 2022B season. My apologies. I should know this. It's October. It's spooky season. But yeah, going back to that, Francois Martel really hooking it up through the first corner. I think with the tight nature of this track, it really plays into the hands of the short wheelbase cars like the Ford
Klog
and the Beetle.
Jokers side by side for the race lead, and he's going to take it. He had the run. Martel thought of it. Is he going to do a switcheroo through the final corner as we exit?
No room.
He got pinched by Klog. All fair. As we begin lap number 3, Martel slides it very deep into the corner. Through the chicane. So tricky. He wants to get that front row start. On board the 12.
He's looking everywhere, Josh.
Against the 199.
He's made his intentions clear. He wants to get by this 199 car. And don't look behind you now. Matt Hartley is still not that far behind these two. If either of these two trip up over each other, we're going to see Hartley in the final, potentially.
Don't forget about Justin Robichaux. The delta is about 12, 13 seconds, and he's right on there. And we've talked so many times before, if these guys are going to squabble this gap away, you never know what'll happen as we take cross flags. Martel looks to the inside. No, bump. Very clean. I was expecting a little bit of a hip check there. The French-Canadian very clean against the Maryland driver. Wide in the hairpin. Thought he could get a better run off the corner, but it's not to be.
Yeah, he just he couldn't really get his car turned through the hairpin, as you pointed out, Josh, and he couldn't even like get to the throttle any quicker because he was still turning when Josh had already straightened out his cars. Josh has to correct a little bit there through that.
Martell through huge run off the final corner. Sorry
Nowhere
to cut
to go
you
with
off
it, though.
sideways.
Nowhere to
Both
go
of
with it,
them.
though.
He
Yeah,
could have forced his way through for sure.
He could have forced his way through, but he's being really respectful of Josh, which is like what we'd like to see between our championship competitors for sure. As I expect him to up the ante here because we're coming up to the last lap, Josh. He's got to get a move done soon if he wants this extra bonus point.
As we look from high above, Robichaux has not jokered. We'll actually take a look here. He has not jokered. He's going to do the Chris Sweat strat and take the joker on the last lap. So if I'm Martell, you have to make something happen because you don't know what the gap looks like. 12 and a half, I'd say that's right around the delta.
Josh, he hasn't jokered, and he was 4/10 quicker than the leader's last lap.
Martell, contact with Clog.
I'm watching Justin Robichaux right now. I want to see how this joker delta plays out, Josh.
As we take a look at the leaders, Clog, Martell, and Robichaux. Robichaux has to joker in the 93. He takes
close,
to the joker, exiting. Will he have the momentum? Very slow. He's going to pass Hartley. Will he get close to Martell? I don't think so, Phil. Hartley's going to send it. Trying for the transfer. Can't make it happen. And Josh Clog holds off the pressure from Martell, Robichaux, and Hartley.
Well done, Justin. Nice one.
That was 4 cars under a blanket at the end of that race, Josh. That was really good to watch.
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't want to interfere with the guys up in front. So yeah, no worries. You got me on that one. Nice one. Well done.
You can't fault Francois Martell for a lack of effort there. He tried everything to try and get by the 199 o'clock. As we're looking forward to Heat 3 now, Josh.
As Hartley and Robichaux had a little bit of congratulations to each other. Green flag in Heat 3. Off the line. Palacio, McKenna, Rakowski, Dipple. Down to turn 1. Oh, by the way, John Dipple's back. After a sabbatical, Rakowski gets bowled out of the way from McKenna. Starting the first lap. In Crandon in 2021A, John Dipple stole it. It was 2020B. He was the only non-Apex car to win in that season. He's not going to take to the Joker, but the Subi squad teammates will. Palacio and McKenna. As Palacio's one car, Phil, that has surprised me all season long. We know how quick he is. I don't think he's won, if I'm not mistaken, but McKenna has.
I will check real quick, Josh.
He
yes,
has
you
not.
Are correct. Marcus
Okenhaug
Palacio has not won yet.
Matt Kingsbury, Clog, Abedi, McKenna, Martell, and Okenhaug. And Palacio's super quick.
You know what's interesting to me right now this heat, Josh? That those two TWR cars jokered together. Surely you want to, like, I know they're teammates, but surely you would have wanted to joker separately, because now it looks like McKenna's just stuck behind Palacio.
They're going to be squabbling.
He's trying to show a bit of a nose in most corners, but yeah, they're going to be squabbling with one another, and John Dipple's just got a clean track. He can do whatever he wants right now. He just has to watch that delta and make sure he can do it, because we saw last heat that from about 12.5 seconds back, that Justin Robichaux was only a second back.
Palacio, turn
Dipple
1.
10 seconds back.
McKenna nearly made contact. This, as a former driver who raced hard with the teammate that I might be speaking to, I can remember we would never joker, because that takes away all the strategy.
Joker, Josh.
Dipple
He's going to take the lead
jokers
by a comfortable margin.
Passes them both. And that's exactly why, when you're with your teammate, A, you never really race them, and B, don't joker on the same lap. Because
don't race your teammate, Josh. We never abided by that rule.
I'm saying in a heat race. Unless you're us.
We still never abided by that rule.
Unless you're us.
As the two teammates make contact, Josh. They make contact again.
Oh.
McKenna's pushed Palacio wide.
Dare I say it?
Touch a third time.
If they keep crashing, we might see Rakowski in this feature race, but I think she had an issue exiting the road course onto the oval, as she is 20 seconds behind the race leader. So we're going to see a brawl over these last 2 laps for this transfer, Phil.
Yeah, these two teammates are showing no love lost, definitely. They've made a bit more contact than we used to make. I like to think we kept it pretty clean between ourselves, but we raced hard. But yeah, these two have had a lot of contact in this heat, and it'd be really interesting to sit in that team room and hear what they're saying right now to one another. I'm not gonna lie.
As we took a look from Palacio. We look out the rear bumper of Carson McKenna, winner in Barcelona earlier this season. Dipple, 1 win, like I said, 2020B in Crandon. What a race that was. I think that was your first race up here with me, and it certainly didn't disappoint. Dipple holding strong, messaged me like 4 hours ago saying if he could race. I said, why not? And here we are.
Yeah, it's great to see John back. Hopefully we can see some of the other LRL guys come back soon. Obviously we've had Magnus as a core member for a while, but I'd love to see Dan Mack back. I miss that dude so much. But yeah, John Dipple looking to come back in style, Josh, as we're on the last lap and he's got a 2-second lead over
Rakowski has not jokered, and the delta's 13 seconds. But I think she jokered last lap.
Josh.
I was thrown off by the time. And the graphic didn't update. My apologies there. I almost thought that she could steal this transfer spot away. Final corner, Dipple will win. Where's the LRL teammates? Farther away than I thought. McKenna holds off Palacio ahead of Rakowski.
Yeah, Carson McKenna, honestly, when he got by Palacio, he showed some really strong pace. He did the quickest lap of the race by 0.3 of a second. The lap after he got by Palacio, Josh. So, yeah, I guess he kind of needed to do that move as he's made the final and he kind of showed the pace over his teammates. We're going to move on to Heat 4.
As our final heat of the evening, the always every single race third on the wins list, Chris Wetz, with his appearance. And I always bored into everybody's heads, so close to winning a championship multiple times, and did not come close. Heat 4, Forster, Ament, Wetz, and Jake Robichaux. Another 6 laps, 2 more cars will transfer. Green flag in Iowa. Forster gets a good jump over Ament. Side by side into turn 1, TWR versus Damage Plan. Ament on the outside, can he get the run? It looked like Forster hit the wall as we begin the first lap of the race. Wetz in the Volkswagen sits back in the 3rd spot. Both of them wide.
All 3 of them wide through the first corner.
As through the chicane, as we have Forster, Ament, Wetz, and Robichaux clip the sleeping policeman there. And around goes the 69, so we can take him out of it. Still an impressive showing for Jake Robichaux. We know how difficult it is in these rally cars, and I think this is his first car on iRacing that he's ran, and I could be wrong there, but to not be putting it in the fence every single moment you're driving is still very impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Justin after the race, but I'm interested to see if Chris Wetz can possibly steal a transfer spot. I've been trying to hype him up for a few weeks now, and he hasn't made a final yet, but I'm hoping this time that he can do it. I really want to see this. Oh, my God. I've done it again, Josh. I've done it again.
I can't even not laugh on a live feed. You jinxed the man. Again!
I jinx him every week. I feel terrible.
Jake Robichaux and Wetz battling for the 3rd spot as Ament 7 seconds ahead of Forster. Looks like Ament jokered.
If you watch this back, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll stop talking about you.
Forster
Benjamin
jokers.
Forster takes to the Joker.
He's going to take that.
He had a comfortable lead over Ament.
He definitely didn't have a gap longer than 12 seconds to be able to take that. So coming across flags here in Iowa, and we finally get a little bit of downtime. And we do have 3 weeks after this, as the Automotive Sports Network will have a delayed broadcast next week in Wild Horse, as myself and Philip Kraus. Jake Robichaux in front of Forster, who spins from the lead.
I'm going to have to check what happened there, Josh. As Robichaux lost it again over the sleeping policeman when he was battling with Chris Wetz, and when Forster came around the corner, he just had nowhere to go. There was a 69 car merging back onto the track, and he lost the rear trying to avoid him.
Every time I look away to do a programming note or something, we always have someone crash, whether it's here or in the E-Roval series.
It's just a classic NASA moment, isn't it, Josh?
As next week, there will be a delayed broadcast on ASN On Demand, as myself and Philip Kraus are going to jump in for an MRT revival. So you'll have that coverage delayed the next day on ASN On Demand. Still the same time slot, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Sunday, Service Experts E-Roval Series will be here in Iowa, running this part of the layout, believe it or not, in the opposite direction. They will be, I'll be myself and Cody Erdman, I think. Well, Cody's a question mark.
That'll definitely be interesting.
As that series came down to the wire last night with a last lap pass and a podium sweep. That's all I'm going to put into perspective. ASN On Demand for all of that information, or on Twitch on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Final lap for Ament as he snuck that heat lead away from Forster. Well, we were just talking about how we were having really a clean heat race, and Robichaux nearly comes across into Ament. So almost both leaders were affected, but Justin Ament off the final corner, he's going to win Heat 4. Second place will be Forster. Third, Wets. Fourth, Jake Robichaux. Right when I think there's nothing to spice it up, Phil.
All things considered for Forster, he's got to count his lucky stars that Chris Wets had issues, because that could have very easily cost him a transfer spot. He lost at least 5, 6, 7 seconds in that spin, and I think he had a bit of damage on his car as well. But yeah, it's time for the chaotic semi-final, Josh. This will be fun seeing 10 cars try to weave their way through this Iowa Rallycross circuit.
It looks like we will have one semifinal.
8 cars.
8 cars. Still 5 laps, 1 joker. Top 2 will transfer. Okenhaug, Robichaux, Palacio, Wets, Crosgrove, Hartley, Rakowski, Robichaux. As points leader, Crosgrove in the Sportsman Cup. On the outside, looking in. 2 cars make it through. Hopefully we'll be clean into turn number 1 here in Iowa. Green flag off the line. Huge jump. That looks like it's Robichaux in the 93. Rakowski pinches Wets, pinches Crosgrove. Crosgrove into the wall in the 28 as Chris Wets around out of the lead. Robichaux in the lead. One of the cars in second. I think that's Palacio. Side by side, it's Hartley versus Okenhaug, the title rivals from 2020A. Jokering is Robichaux ahead of, it looked like Magnus there, as I'm trying to get back.
Gosh, that is Justin ahead of Magnus. But yeah, that's a horror start for Cody Crosgrove. Bad just seems to go to worse for that 28 car these last 2 weeks. His lead in the Sportsman Cup, as you've alluded to, has just evaporated over these last 3 races, Josh. But it just seems like he can't catch a break. Just got squeezed between Chris Wets and someone else on the start, and he's already 16 seconds off the lead.
As Robichaux leads ahead of Okenhaug, ahead of Hartley, who exits the Joker. We know how aggressive the 2020A champion is. Rakowski, I don't think she jokered. Crosgrove exits the Joker in the 28. He has...
Both of those cars have jokered.
Red mist. Rakowski has jokered, you said then. So Crosgrove's got to get by Rakowski. Nearly
turns Rakowski over the jump. You can definitely see the red mist coming through, Josh.
Those are the words that I was trying to think of. Hartley's going to wait for these 2 guys to crash, potentially. To the inside, Okenhaug goes on Robichaux. They're in a transfer. Contact. He pushes him wide. Robichaux gets moved. And if he thought that Okenhaug was mean, he has not met Matt Hartley yet. Palacio jokers. Palacio to the race lead.
Stolen the lead.
To the outside goes Okenhaug. Tries. He gets hit by Robichaux. Little bit of a warp there.
Up, though, Josh.
Netcode saved them both. That was going to be a huge crash.
Netcode saved 3 cars there, Josh. I don't think that Matt was going to be able to avoid that. But we got 4 cars under a blanket, and there's only 1.5 laps left to go.
The only car that has not
get into this final
is Wets. We can take him out of the equation, though. This is going to be crazy. Somebody's going to have to send it. Hartley to the inside of Robichaux and nearly turns him in the 93. Team radio from Hartley.
He looks like he lifted to give him the position. Very sporting of Matt Hartley. He's always been a very sporting competitor in NASA, but that's going to hinder these 2. I think without a mistake from one of the top 2 cars, both of these guys are not going to be able to make it to the final tonight.
Final lap. Palacio leads Okenhaug, leads Robichaux, leads Hartley. That's the top 4. Crosgrove, Rakowski, Jake Robichaux, and Chris Wets. That's the remaining running order. It is set for Jamison Huffman to win 2 sportsman races in a row and take the points lead away from Cody Crosgrove.
This would be his 3rd win in a row, Josh.
As you have the stat book in front of me as I'm directing, so thank you for picking me up on that. Marcos Palacio stole this semifinal win away from Magnus. Magnus still transfers, but it results in Justin Robichaux, the odd man out.
Where did he come from, Josh? Where did Marcos Palacio come from? We were talking about those 3 cars, and he just flies out of the Joker in the lead. Where did he come from?
Unless he took 2 Jokers. Let me try and pull this up.
No,
everyone did
take
Joker
2
once.
Jokers. I just don't think we were paying attention to the timing screen as we were watching that battle between those 3 cars, and then all of a sudden Palacio's in the lead.
As we're going to step away for a few moments' time here, and you'll still have some pictures, maybe audio. I'm still learning OBS, to be perfectly honest. Either way, we'll be back in a few minutes. I just got to catch my breath and maybe get a drink as we get ready here at Iowa. As we welcome you back, or welcome us back, whichever route you want to do it, to the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here on the Automotive Sports Network. It's Josh Mertz and Philip Kraus in the commentary box, getting ready to bring you round 223 of the championship overall and round 7 of the 26th season. We're going to have 10 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers. We did a little bit of talking while we were having that break. And Phil, who looks good? What do you expect? Hard hats? Question mark.
I feel like at Iowa Turn 1, you always need your hard hats deployed because it's a hairpin right-hander that you don't usually take. You go over a jump, and then you go into this really tight 1 and 2 section of the track. But, yeah, I'm bringing my hard hat just to be safe. I don't know if you want to bring yours. Like, I don't know if you've even cleaned your hard hat in time for the race, but
it's in the truck. It's definitely still clean.
Well, you better start running.
Well, can't do it now, Chief.
Okay, no hard hat for you.
I'll figure it out. You don't have a hard hat either. We're gonna get an OSHA violation. It's gonna be a good time. As our
OSHA, you didn't hear us.
Real quick, broadcast and series brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, check out osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your support of the NASA Rallycross Challenge here in 2022B. As we get ready here in Iowa, this is going to be great. 10 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers, and the points leaders are on the front row. And how did we miss this? Oh boy.
This is going to be amazing, Josh.
Jamison Huffman wins Sportsman automatically by default. I'm not going to have the word garbage that came out of my mouth last week. You race, get on the podium overall, have a party. Points leaders, dual red plates, round 7 getting ready to go. Take a deep breath as we go green in Iowa. Green flag. Abedi leads. Great jump over Clog. Down to turn 1. Ament, look. 3 wide. It looks like it's Dipple. On the outside is Martel. Rounding the first corner. Clog gets nudged. Martel gets nudged into one of the TWR Subarus who nearly hits the gantry entering turn number 1. Magnus does hit. It looks like that's McKenna as leading is Alex Abedi. One car gets forced. One car gets forced to the Joker. It was
Dipple
Martel.
around in the chicane.
Dipple spins in the 34. So as we try to bring this back, let's try and get a focus on our race leader. At the end of the first lap, Alex Abedi doing exactly what he needs to do. Justin Ament sits in second, Francois Martel in third. Leading the regular course brigade, defending champion Clog, ahead of Okenhaug, McKenna, Huffman, Forster, Palacio, and Dipple. Much cleaner than I expected, but still argy-bargy.
Yeah, it's just a
Abedi jokers.
side effect of this type of racetrack as Abedi takes his second joker, doing what he needs to do. Just get the clean track, Alex. Just run away, as I don't think anyone else has taken their second joker or even their first yet.
As we take...
As I lie, Magnus has taken his first joker, and he's right behind Francois Martel.
Top 3 have taken one, along with Magnus. Jokering looked like it might have been McKenna.
Also has taken a joker.
Let's wait for this to unravel. We're going to have 4 cars under a blanket for second once the graphic updates, because I think Forster jokered as well in the 23. He did. So Clog is the only car that has not jokered for
Martel
the first
and Magnus
time.
do their second joker, Josh.
And they come out nowhere close to Abedi.
Yeah, Abedi's got a comfortable about 2-second lead over the next car who has finished
Clog
their
jokers
strategy, but
in the 199. He's going to pip him in.
Yeah, Josh Clog is the one to watch. If he's pipped Ament, that means he's effectively in second. We'll have to see what the Delta says at the line, Josh, as I think we're aiming for about 12 seconds, I think you said, to take the lead.
That sounds right.
Clog is 12.1 behind Abedi.
Ament sits in 5th, 6th McKenna, 7th Palacio, 8th Forster, 9th Huffman, 10th Dipple. Couple dark horses. We haven't seen a second joker yet. We haven't seen any jokers from Huffman. That should put him fairly mid-pack in the order. Palacio sits in 4th. Clog got passed as Palacio took a second joker.
Have we seen a joker from Ben Forster? Yes, we have. I was gonna say he could find his way into this as well, Josh, but as Palacio takes his second joker.
Abedi Martel.
Clog updated Delta at the line, 12.6. He's lost half a second that lap, Josh.
Will he joker? Yes, he will.
Yes,
Let's
he will.
take a look. Through the right, through the left, very slow, nearly in the wall. He gets by. No, he doesn't get by Martel.
Martel hanging on to second just barely as Clog tries to send it around outside. He almost loses the rear.
Can't make that happen, and now this is
That'll
crucial.
For Magnus.
Martel second, Clog third, Magnuson fourth. And it's who we had talked about.
Wide through turn 1.
Who we talked about at the opening, Phil. These top
All four of our championship competitors, 1 through 4.
And we might have a repeat winner this season. And it might be Alex Abedi. Jokering is Palacio.
That right now, Josh.
Or no, it's McKenna in the 11. So he will get by
Okenhaug. Maybe just about, yes.
So now 5 winners in the top 5. Marcos Palacio has taken both of his jokers, and he's nowhere to be found between these guys, and we thought that he'd be super quick.
Justin Ament still hasn't taken a joker, Josh. I think he could slot himself into second still. But Alex Abedi running away in the 99 car.
As the German wants to get his second career victory. He had a couple of bad weeks the last couple times we raced. And this is exactly what he needs to get back on the momentum on the train. Martel second.
Best remedy for a bad few weeks, isn't it? Just a win.
I recall that numerous times for myself, and I assume with you as well. You have that chip on your shoulder, and you say, I'm always going to have this luck, and then you come out not expecting anything, and you blitz the field. At least that's what was happening to me.
Yeah, you drive a little angry, and things start happening.
Oh, you're the king of driving angry. Huffman, uncontested, remember, in the Sportsman Cup. He still has a joker left along with Ament. Dipple still has both of his jokers, but Alex Abedi gone from the rest of the field by 2.25 seconds, let's call it.
Yeah, Alex Abedi putting on a bit of a clinic here at Iowa as we take 2 to go. The lead looks like it's gonna... No, it's come down by 0.3 that lap, Josh. Francois Martel doing a 36.3 that last time by. That's the quickest lap we've seen all weekend, I think.
Gonna be 2 laps to go, and it's a huge gap to make up. It's gonna be really hard to do unless something goes wrong, and we've seen crazier things happen. In the NASA Rallycross Challenge, we talk about it all the time. Clog sits in 3rd on the podium, but he's still going to not be able
Justin
to...
Ament hasn't taken his final joker yet,
Huffman
Josh. I think
jokers.
he's gonna...
Huffman comes out battling with Okenhaug. I think that was just one. Let's take a look. No.
Ament was a second ahead of him on track. This is going to be interesting to see where Ament comes out. I think he can get Clog.
Justin Ament sits in 8th on the road, according to the graphic, 9th on the road, but he has not taken his final joker. Dipple as well have not taken their jokers, as we are on the white flag here in Iowa.
Francois Martel, another 0.4 that lap, but too little, too late for the 12 car as Ament takes his final joker.
Ament's going to come out
for McKenna.
battling McKenna.
Clog.
No Clog, but Alex Abedi, his second win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge, comes at Iowa ahead of Francois Martel.
And
Josh
Ament.
Martel second, Clog third, Ament back to 4th. McKenna, Huffman, Okenhaug, Dipple, Palacio, Forster. As there was so much going on, it was hard to keep track. I apologize for that. But this man is our winner.
I didn't see Magnus get Huffman. Huffman get Magnus. I think you mentioned it, Josh, but Jameson Huffman with another really impressive performance. But that's the man of the hour right there, Alex Abedi. His second win of the 2022B season. He's the only repeat winner of the season, as Francois Martel celebrating a hard-fought second place as well.
Wow. Let's see if we can find anybody for our interviews here, as we will try and grab Dipple was in 8th, my ATVO is broken. So Clog was in 3rd. I don't think we have Clog at the moment. So we will take Francois Martel if my Discord decides to cooperate. So I will try my best on a very small screen. I don't know if you can help out with that. We're going to bring in Francois Martel, and you'll have a chat with him.
I had him for a second, Josh, but he ran away from me.
There he is.
How'd he do from... goodbye. Hello.
I don't know if he could hear us, unless his mic's broken. Let's try and get confirmation with that.
I don't know. I think he got a bit confused when we dragged him up so quickly.
We'll have a chat with our Never mind. What is happening?
I don't think he wants to talk to you, Josh. He's scared of you.
We'll wait and see. Francois Martel, you got us?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Phil, all yours.
Yeah, Francois, second place for you today. It looked like you were really closing in on Alex those last few laps, but you just had a bit of traffic in your way those first few laps that didn't really let you do what you wanted to do to get to him. How'd that race go for you from the cockpit?
Yeah, at the start I was super shocked. I was seeing 4 cars in front of me. I couldn't understand what was going on. Never had that happen. So, really rarely. So I just decided to charge on the first turn, get super light on the brake while all the pack was braking and being careful. I took the outside. I don't know what happened over the jump. Honestly, I got hit a couple of times. I hit someone, craziness, and then after that it was just try and get as much
that whole run from the jump through turn 1 and 2 was a bit chaotic. I think you were 3 wide. I'm checking the replay right now, but yeah, second place. It was definitely a bit chaotic there at the start, but it really cleaned out towards the end, and you got to show your pace. Really strong laps to end the race. Sadly, it wasn't enough to get a Betty, but still second place, and brings you like you lost a bit of points to Alex, but you're still strongly in contention for the championship for sure.
Yeah, Alex got me sweating. 35.9 on qualification. That's world class material right there. He practiced a lot and it really shows. So, congrats to him.
Yeah, thank you, Francois. Wild Horse next up. It's the second and last race of the Area 52 Designs Endurance Cup. Are you having any expectations for that race? I don't know if you've really run the off-road tracks that much, but what do you think you can get done there?
Yeah, I'll have to practice a ton because, it's completely different. You don't rely on when you go on the gas or the brake. You're more thinking about your trajectory. So it's gonna be a different challenge, but it's always super fun, those tracks.
And it's super fun to watch and super fun to drive as Josh and I should be joining you guys next weekend at Wild Horse. Do you have any sponsors and partners you'd like to thank before we let you go, Francois?
Yeah, Team Watson Racing setups. Right now I'm building the setups for the Rallycross cars, obviously. Maybe next week we should have my setups on the website. But right now, if you're looking for a setup for a car, basically they're the cheapest, and that doesn't mean we are not. Um we don't have quality standards. Obviously, like I put a lot of effort in them, so the results are there.
Yeah, you heard the man. If you're looking for Rallycross setups, Team Watson Racing, they're making some pretty good setups. Cause Francois, he's shown pace all season long, so there's definitely some speed in those cars. Congratulations again on a solid P2 finish, Francois, and hopefully we'll be able to chat with you again. Actually, no, we won't be able to chat with you again next week because we're gonna be doing a tape delay. But congratulations.
Thank you.
You ran a pretty lonely race, didn't you?
Oh, did I? I don't know. I just try to drive as fast as I can and keep the car intact so it doesn't break on the jump. And that I just try to drive.
That took the Joker on the first lap. Okay. Took the Joker on the second lap. All right. Well, the race is basically over. You got ahead of everybody. And crucially, it might sound ridiculous because to me and Phil, when we were racing for a championship, I'd like to think we got in each other's heads. So do you think that this performance got you into the head of Josh Clogg to maybe psych him out? Because he finished third. You got some decent points on him. It breaks that tie.
Actually, I think he respects me and he knows I'm fast and I know he's fast and I had to meet him today, so I practiced 16 hours and I didn't think about getting in his head because I know he knows I have pace. I just wanted to show everybody today that I'm there and I can win this championship.
As I guess we know that your race was really lonely, but talk me through. We practiced during the day and we raced at night. How different is that in these rally cars, especially with the dirt, the jumps, everything like that?
Iowa at morning is actually pretty fast, but in the afternoon or in the noon, it's the track is so hot that you don't have grip, and the corners are so hard to take. And in the night, it's just a dream to drive. You can drive fast, the car grips, and it's awesome to drive at night. I love it.
As one last one before you go, do you have any partners or anyone that you'd like to thank for your second win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge?
Yes, I want to thank Luis Nunez for preparing me and Carson McKenna for doing all those practice sessions with me. I was a little bit sad because I know he had really, really good pace here. And I want to give out shout outs to my family in Iran who are right now fighting for freedom. And I'm thinking about them every day and I hope they will succeed.
Has Phil anything for our race winner?
Not anything really, but I hope your family stays safe in Iran.
Absolutely.
Wishing them the best for sure.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on your win, Alex.
Thank you so much.
As real quick, how good is your momentum, do you think? How is your confidence going into Wild Horse next week? Not only because you had those issues in Bark River, but you're going to have two of the best on track.
Yeah, I don't think in Wild Horse I will be
statistically best. Okay, Phil.
I don't think in Wild House I will do many points, but I'm very, very fast in Phoenix and I'm fast in Sonoma. I have the wrong car for that tracks, but I can make it work in the qualification. I can be very fast and on a fresh track, and I will give my best and I will practice hard, and I think I can do it.
As congratulations, my friend, and we will see you next week in Wild
Thank you.
Horse.
Thank you. See you there. See you there. Let's have a party there. Bye.
As before we wrap up, a couple programming notes here on the Automotive Sports Network. Sunday, we will have the Service Experts E-Roval Series. You'll have at least myself, maybe Cody Erdman, no Brian Sawyers. Once again, congratulations, Brian Sawyer, getting married this weekend. And next Tuesday, remember a delayed broadcast for the Automotive Sports Network for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, as the MRT retirement home, they're letting us on track, which I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not.
Have they put our walkers in the car yet?
I have not heard that either way. We do have the stair lift for when we're ready.
Oh, thank
Either
God.
way, from all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Brian Sawyer, Cody Erdman, Philip Kraus, I am Josh Mertz. We hope to see you in the next couple of races. Either way, my outro's ruined because I mistimed the song. But either way, we hope you enjoyed today's coverage. We hope to see you Sunday or Tuesday for Service Experts E-Roval or NASA Rallycross. I really know how to use OBS in a live stream. That's it. Either way, hope you enjoyed. So long, everyone.